Do you feel like no one understands you, understands what you're going through, and things just seem hopeless because you're all alone? Well, I used to feel like this, but then I realized that no one can understand me. No one can understand you, not completely, because we all grow up with different ideas, different experiences, and in order to relate to each other, we have to use these experiences as filters. So when you say, I feel depressed or I feel bad, I have to relate to my ideas of depression. So in my case, I've experienced depression, so I know what it's like for me, what I went through, but there are many different ways of experiencing depression. There are many spectrums or spectrums of emotion, or the spectrum is broad. So no one can truly understand us, but there's a liberating part to this, because why does anyone need to understand you? And this then points to your self-awareness, because what are you looking for when you say no one understands me? What is it that you're not getting that you think you need? Do you need support, help, belonging, sympathy? Just someone to be with you? What is it that you think you need? And what I've realized that I don't really have to be dependent on this concept of someone understanding me, because even that is a thought that enters my head, an idea of what understanding looks like, because your idea of understanding will not be the same as mine. I may view someone understanding me completely differently. I may want someone to leave me alone so I can process what I'm going through, and you may want people to be close to you, to be around the house or in your apartment. So we have these ideas of what we think we need in order to feel good, in order to move forward in our lives, but it's not really true. It's not true in my experience. Now, I'm not saying that you should stop feeling like this. No, I'm just pointing out that the experience comes from within us. And then it's up to you to notice what resonates with you, where you feel drawn to go. Because imagine that there are moments you don't feel like no one understands you because you're not thinking about that. And since we feel our internal reality, our thoughts and everything, that acts as a filter for what's going on. So if I feel like no one understands me, then I'll feel that. It'll look like no one can understand me and I'm all alone. So what if, instead of using it as a thing to blame others for their lack of understanding, and you flip it over and begin to understand yourself and how you work? What if it's a signal that your thinking isn't to be trusted in that moment? So if I feel bad, I'm anxious, I often feel like everyone's against me, or that things are wrong, I need to figure something out. And when that happens, I know that it's a time for a break. I don't operate well under those conditions. But the problem often is that when I feel anxious and or everything seems like it's wrong, that's when I most wanna fix things, because it feels so urgent, because it seems so real. So it can take some time to learn to relax in that anxiety, in that pain, you could say. But after a while, you begin to see that you don't have to grip every thought. You don't have to give your mind so much authority, because it doesn't really know what it's talking about. Not always. not very often in my experience. So what if you began to understand yourself? How do you work? How do thoughts work? How do emotions and feelings emerge? Do you notice that there are moments when you feel better? There are moments when you feel worse. Why does that change? Why can two people go into a restaurant, have the same meal, and come out with two different experiences? So like I said in the beginning, it comes down to what we learn, the concepts we've taken in from the outside world. I couldn't think about understanding or even depression unless I had a concept for that. So no one understands me. Do I really need understanding? What is it that you truly want when you say you need understanding? If you need help, then you can go and find someone who can help you with your specific problem or challenge. If you need belonging, that's something else to dive into and look at. Why do you need belonging? What is it that you want to do or accomplish? And you begin to realize that happiness comes and goes, but there's always this innate peace and well-being we have inside, and we don't have to do anything to get there because it's always there. We think so much, and this creates a tension in us. And it's not about changing your thoughts or calming your mind. I mean, you could meditate and do all that. You can experiment and see what works. But like anything, happiness comes and goes. The feeling that people understand you comes and goes. Sometimes you feel like someone understands you, and then it flips and you feel like they don't understand you because they said something in the wrong way or did something, and then it may flip back. Oh, they do understand me. So you see how it's constantly changing. So it may be helpful to become curious about what's actually going on. When you say no one understands me, do you understand yourself? Do you want to begin to explore what it means to be you? Why does your experience keep changing? How do thoughts change your experience from moment to moment? So I'll leave you with that, and I'll say bye for now.